Okay, children, continuing with chapter 3. Today we will be finishing this chapter. So in exercise 3.6, I have discussed the first 6 questions. Now I am discussing question number 7th and 8th. Both the sum I will do almost 50% of the sum, then the remaining sum you can finish on your own. Now the question is 10 upon x plus y plus 2 upon x minus y is equal to 4, and then 15 upon x plus y minus 5 upon x minus y is equal to minus 2. Again, the first step we will do 1 upon x plus y is equal to say p, and 1 upon x minus y is equal to q. So the first equation will become 10p plus 2q equal to 4. Similarly, the second equation will become 15p minus 5q is equal to minus 2. Okay, so first step only this you have to do, and then both the equations will change. Now this looks familiar. Now you can solve them by any method. Okay, suppose you solve it, and suppose you get say p equal to say 1 by 7, and say q you get 1 by 2. Okay, now the sum is not finished, remember that. Now what is p? P is 1 upon x plus y, so you will write 1 upon x plus y is equal to say 1 by 7. Cross multiply, then you will get x plus y is equal to 7. Similarly, here q is equal to 1 by 2, so if I will write 1 upon x minus y is equal to 1 by 2, again I will cross multiply, so I get x minus y is equal to 2. So in the earlier sums, at this step the answer used to come, but here now if you see, again you have got two equations. Okay, so again you will have to solve. Now again any method, but now you will get the answer of x and y directly. Okay, so this is a two-step sum basically. In the first step you write whatever is equal to p and q, so do this, get the value of p and q, and in the second step again p is equal to this, q is equal to this, and then again you have to solve. Okay, this last question is also like that. 1 upon 3x plus y plus 1 upon 3x minus y is equal to 1 by 4. Similarly, 1 upon 2 3x plus y minus 1 upon 2 3x minus y is equal to minus 1 by 8. So I will write 1 upon 3x plus y equal to p, 1 upon 3x minus y equal to q. The first equation will then be p plus q is equal to 1 by 4. And the second equation will be p upon 2 minus q upon 2 is equal to minus 1 upon 8. And of course I want to make both the sums easy, so I will multiply both. Before starting the sum, I will multiply both. This I will multiply by 4 throughout, this I will multiply by 8 throughout. So that the first equation, which will become 4p plus 4q is equal to 1, and this equation will become 4p minus 4q is equal to minus 1. Okay, now I will just solve the equations. I will get the value of p and q, and whatever value I get, then again I have to solve just like we solved. Okay, so that's how these sums will finish. So this is question number 7th and 8th, okay, of question first. Now a very important question we are going to do now. This question is asked many times in the exam, and many times the same values are asked. They don't even change the values. The question is, a boat goes 30 km upstream and 44 km downstream in 10 hours. In 13 hours, it goes 40 km upstream and 55 km downstream. Find the speed of the stream and the boat. So first of all, we just understand what is upstream, downstream. Suppose if you ever traveled, say suppose you are on a boat here. Okay, so this is downstream. Okay, and suppose you are going up against the current, so this is upstream. When we are going downstream, then whatever the speed of the boat is, suppose the speed of the boat is x and speed of the river is y, then it gets added. Both the speeds get added, and when you are going against the current, both the speeds get subtracted from each other. So in this we always assume that the speed of the boat is always greater than the speed of the stream. So that is why we write x minus y, not y minus x. We always assume the speed of the boat is always greater than the speed of the stream. So anyway, so downstream speed is x plus y and upstream speed is x minus y. So here the first thing we will write, let the speed of boat be x, let the speed of stream be y. So upstream speed of boat will be x minus y and downstream speed of boat x plus y. Now you know the formula speed is equal to distance by time. Here in both the equations they have given us time, so time will be equal to distance by speed. Now let us make the first equation by reading only this much. A boat goes 30 km upstream. So suppose time going for upstream, say for a we write it t1, so distance is 30 and upstream speed is x minus y. Similarly t2, the boat goes 4 km downstream. Okay, 44 is the distance and speed is now x plus y. And this whole thing takes how much? 10 hours. So our equation will be 30 upon x minus y plus 44 upon x plus y is equal to 10. Similarly, the second one, in 13 hours it goes 40 km upstream and 55 km downstream. So 40 upon x minus y plus 55 upon x plus y is equal to 30. So now we have our two equations, and first step of course similarly like this, put 1 upon x plus y is equal to p, 1 upon x minus y is equal to q, and then you solve the equation. Okay, so this was the board sum. Now we are proceeding toward the last three sums of exercise 3.6. The first question we will do is, Ritu can row downstream 20 kilometers in 2 hours. Okay, first sentence is this, she can row downstream 20 kilometers in 2 hours. Now again, first in these sums, both sums, always you have to write these initial statements. Say let the speed of the rowing or boat be x, let the speed of the current be y, downstream x, upstream y. The first is she can row 20 km downstream in 2 hours. So time is equal to distance by speed, as you just saw. So in 2 hours she can row 20 kilometers downstream. So x plus y. And we just this is the just multiply it, so we get 2x plus 2y equal to 20. This will be our first equation. Second statement, and she goes upstream 4 kilometers in 2 hours. Upstream also, again the distance will remain the same. Upstream 4 kilometers. Distance is changing. In 2 hours. Again we cross multiply, so 2x minus 2y is equal to 4. So now these are our two equations. Now we just have to solve them. Here the way the statements were given, we can do the sum directly. We don't have to go down this path. In this, in one statement he had given for upstream and downstream both, so we had to write it like this and we have to write it like that. And then here we can't do the cross multiplication because both the values are different, then we'll get squares and all. Here because only for upstream and downstream he had given us separately, we could do this step so that we can now easily make the two equations and then just solve them. Okay. Now the last two sums, first we will do question number 3 because it is also related to speed, distance and time. Then the last one. Question 3. Ruhi travels 300 km to her home, partly by train and partly by bus. So let's say let speed of train x km per hour, let speed of bus y km per hour. She takes 4 hours if she travels 60 km by train and the remaining by bus. This is the first statement. She takes 4 hours. Time is equal to distance upon speed, as you know. So total time she is taking 4 hours. In this she travels 60 by train. So train speed is x. So and time which is distance by speed. So 60 upon x plus the remaining by bus. So out of the 300, the remaining is 240 kilometers. So 240 she is traveling by bus. And okay, and bus speed we have taken to be y. So this is our first equation. Similarly, if she travels 100 km by train, now she is traveling 100 km by train, and the remaining by bus. So remaining by bus is 200 by y. She takes 10 minutes longer. So in 4 hours you have to add 10 minutes. So you will write 10 minutes. We have to convert into hour to 10 by 60. So 0 gets cut. So this becomes 25 by 6 is equal to 100 by x plus 200 by y. So now these are two equations. Of course, in this, as you can easily see, you will first write 1 upon x equal to p, 1 upon y equal to q. And in this equation, of course, you can multiply throughout by 6 to make your equation easier. And then just solve it. Okay. Now the last question which we will do is question number 2. Just read it. Now, one thing, suppose if I finish some work in 10 days. If somebody asks me how much work I am doing per day, that means per day I am doing 1 by 10. Okay, per day I am doing 1 by 10. So if I finish something in 10 days, then per day work is 1 by 10. So the next question is, 2 women and 5 men can together finish an embroidery work in 4 days. While 3 women and 6 men can finish it in 3 days. Find the time taken by 1 woman alone to finish the work and also time taken by 1 man. Let the woman finish work in say X days. So 1 day work done by the woman will be as I just explained, it will be 1 by x. Let the men finish work in y days. So 1 day work done by men is 1 by y. Now last step, now 2 women and 5 men finish the work, embroidery work in 4 days. So if we calculate what is the work done by them on 1 day, so 2 women are working and 5 men. And if they finish that work in 4 days, so in 1 day how much work will they do? 1 by 4. So basically in my first equation I get 2 by x plus 5 by y is equal to 1 by 4. Here you remember to write 1 by 4. Many times kids write 4 only over here. No, we are calculating 1 day's work only. And writing equation in terms of that. Similarly, 3 women and 6 men finish the work in 3 days. So 3 by x plus 6 by y is equal to 1 by 3. So now these are two equations. First you will of course write 1 upon x equal to p, 1 upon y equal to q. And then as you can see there are fractions, so if you want you can multiply this throughout by 4, throughout by 3, this second one, so you will get two equations which you can then easily solve. Okay, so this was exercise 3.6, the last question. And start studying chapter 3 because the next, this Sunday I guess we will be having a science test, the next Sunday will be a maths test of chapter 3. Okay, cheers.